Oh my God.
I'm gonna start talking Southern all day.
You're so stupid.
Turn this into the Southern Roots
You know you do that.
flip
the kids,
show.
Dad,
You gotta
why do
get the neck movement when you talk from the South.
Hey, I'm Stephanie. This is my husband, Justin. He is more of the brains. I'm the beauty. No, I'm just joking. I do a lot of the renovation side. So the design, all of the beautifying of it. So it is, you're like the brains and I'm the beauty.
I'll take that.
This is a funny story, so. Do you want the truth? Justin and I met at church. That is like the simplistic version of that. Both of us were kind of recently divorced and going through that whole process. When I had first laid eyes on him, I was super broken. I had so much pain from my past, and people wouldn't have known that, but on the inside, I was so broken and damaged. And I made a good outside appearance that everything was okay. I'm a good Christian girl, but I was drinking all the time. I was really depressed. So as a woman, there's not many single men out there in the world when you start to become my age. I was 30 at the time. And so there's not a lot of men in the fish pool. But when I saw him, all the girls were gravitated towards him, and they're like, oh, he's so cute, and I literally was like, yeah, cool, he's good, whatever. And so I feel bad now because he's very attractive, but I think I was just not in the same place. I think I said hi to you. I don't know.
Barely.
Do you remember that night? You don't even remember me. Okay.
Yeah, you had that black dress on.
Oh, you remember that black dress?
I drove this ridiculously big black redneck
yes.
truck that totally turned her off. So as soon as we left this 35 and under gathering at church, we decided to go and have something to eat. So I'm going downstairs, I'm getting in my big truck, and it's just the biggest turn off ever to her, because she's like, this guy is ego and all of that stuff. So we all leave and everybody bails. And so then I was like, well, I'm not gonna go out. I don't know this guy, whatever. You had gone home. You're like, well, I'm not gonna go. And I was the same way. I was like, well, I'm still gonna go grab food. So I texted him. I was like, do you still want me to grab you food and I'll drop it off to you? And I genuinely meant drop it off and go, because I was like, well, I don't want you to not have food tonight if you were planning on that. So we met in a Chick-fil-A parking lot, and I opened his door, which I couldn't even reach because I'm so short. So the seat came up to here on me. And so I'm like, here you go. And I'm trying to reach over. He's like, why don't you get in? We'll eat together. And I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm gonna go home. I wasn't trying to be rude to him. It was just more of here you go. She was rude. My truck door swings open, here's your dinner, and bye. And I'm like, whoa, wait a second. She got up, we had a great discussion, and just going through the divorce, and I don't wish divorce on anybody, but going through the divorce, I was not in any place to be dating or pursuing or anything like that. I really had to just be myself and just focus on myself versus women or anything else. So when she got in and she started sharing this discussion, I'm like, oh my gosh,
she gets it.
This is amazing discussion. And I hadn't had that discussion with anybody in a long time. So immediately the attractiveness was there.
So I was like, oh, this guy could really be someone I would care for. And so at that time we weren't thinking marriage, obviously, but the more we hung out, the more we got to know each other. And then I just really heard from the Lord that he's gonna be the guy I marry. It has been an amazing partnership, an amazing marriage, and it's come with struggles, obviously, because we're both from, different backgrounds. We have very different personalities, but my creativity and his very seriousness, compassion, all of that is what kind of holds us and glues us together.
Yeah, I got into this business. I got out of the Marine Corps, and I had started my first business when I was about 19 years old, and I was in the erosion control business. And what that is basically the dirt that's on a job site has to stay on the job site and not go outside of the job site. It just wasn't good to be traveling around that much, and I wanted to spend more family time. So I sold my shares of the business, and I started doing just local remodeling and handyman type stuff. I would team up with real estate investors when I was a GC and work things out with them to where I could start learning the business and what stuff costs and what goes into it, the side of the business that I did not know. And after a couple of those projects and really not making any money, I realized, hold on a second here, I could probably do this on my own successfully with the information that I've learned from these real estate investors. And it was a whole lot of fun working for myself and selling it and negotiating and doing all that stuff. So then fast forward, meeting Stephanie and so she decides to quit Ion Television. So we're caught up to about the last 3 years. She decided to quit. She wanted to be a mom, stay-at-home mom, and be there for my kids and now our family that we're starting together. We ended up buying the house across the street. The guy came out, put a for sale sign, buy owner out there. We called the guy. We ended up buying that house, and off to the races we go on doing our first property together. We learned a lot on that one, and we realized after we had made a substantial profit, we said, let's take this serious. Let's do this as a business. What are your goals? What do you want? And I think in everything that we've gone through in our past and everything that we're working on now, we want to reflect Christ in everything that we do. Yeah. And there's a lot of real estate investors that just don't do that. It's about the dollars, it's about the money. It's not about the relationship, turn and burn, how quickly can I get in there? Whereas with me and her, it was, I want to do this right. I don't want to be like all the other flippers. And that name flipping even has a negative connotation to it now because there's been so many bad flipping projects. So we decided, let's treat this as a business. So when we went through and we started writing down our goals and what we wanted to do, how we wanted to do it, we decided to focus on the older style bungalows because people want to tear these down and start putting up new construction. We went after those. So
and that like breaks our hearts. We're like, no. Yep. I don't know why, it just brings me back to like when I was broken and tossed aside and I felt so used and alone. Like this house in particular, this lit house, we're in lit house right now, is exactly that to a T. It was, the bones were great, the structure was great, the layout was great. So all of it just had been caked with junk and it had been piled up. So like for me, I take myself for instance, and I always picture myself as having like a funnel inside of me, is what I always tell my women with my Bible studies. And I was filling it with all this stuff, whether it be pain, guilt, shame, and I was filling it with, oh well, I'm just gonna drink now. So I would just keep filling my funnel with all of these things, this junk. And this was the same. It was a hoarder house. She just kept filling it. That moment of transformation was when I finally was like, wait a minute, why am I holding all this junk? Why am I hoarding all of this crap in here? Why am I holding on to this? And so that moment was so freeing. And just like we saw here, when the moment we cleared everything out, it was like, wow, this is a really good, cool house. And everybody then started to see it like, it doesn't matter the junk that's in there. The minute you take it out, it now can be a perfect foundation to fill it with good, beautiful stuff. So for us, it's not just like, okay, let's put beautiful stuff in a house. It is beautiful, but it's like, it's so deep for us and for me, especially because I lived it. And so now I can live it in each home that we flip. I don't even know a good word for it. Cause like he said, the word flip feels so dirty. A dirty word.
The number one question we get all the time is, why are you guys filming this? Why are you guys creating this show? Why are you guys doing all of this stuff?
I don't know. No, I'm just joking.
Behind the scenes, we're real estate investors, okay? We purchase real estate, we put our funds into them, and we want to make a profit, okay? But there's so much more, as we've discussed, that goes into real estate investing, into the people, into the process. Why do we film it? Because we want that transparency going out to the viewer, going, hold on a second here, these guys are definitely different. Look at the way they did this. Look at the thought process here. Look at the design and even the touch points of all the people that are involved. You get to see that in the filming of it, because we film in the beginning, we film in the middle, we film at the end, and then you get a lot of those in-betweens on the social media where it creates that entertainment, but it's also very transparent of why are we filming this? And we're filming it just for that aspect of it. We want to bring the professionalism of real estate investors up. Yeah. And if we film it and we capture all those moments and we go over stuff like this and share our hearts and share our story, we're starting to elevate the professionalism of real estate investors and that so-called flip aspect of it.
It was really awkward for us the first time we shot it, but people are like, you should film this because you guys have such a unique story to tell. And we care about you. And so that's why, and even the people that we buy the houses from, like, we aren't just like, okay, we want the best deal ever. I mean, yes, we want a great deal because then we could make more money and then we can flip that and use it to actually help more people. Yeah. But we also care about the person. So we give a higher dollar amount than most, investors. So the person selling their house, we want to come in and help that person because we want to help them not only move on to their next stage because we genuinely care about the person that's selling the house, but also we want to have that opportunity to give them more than a wholesaler or someone else would be able to give them because of, closing costs or whatsoever. Since it is our cash and we're going straight to the person, because normally a wholesaler will buy a property, let's say for, I'm gonna say $100,000. They'll normally put $20,000 to $50,000, sometimes even $70,000 lately because the market is so crazy. They'll put like an additional $70,000 to $50,000 onto the price, and so then we buy it for $170,000. Well, that's silly. I'd rather go straight to the source and give them that $170,000. We just need to capture those people so that they're getting the most for their house, their property, because these are loved houses. It's like when you live in a place, you leave your footprint on that place. And I know we joke and we call them busted cribs, but because of just sometimes the state of them is too much and too overwhelming for someone to fix and to take on for themselves. Not all of them are like, hoarder houses or have been neglected for years. But they're busted in the sense that, hey, I can't take it on anymore. Can you now take it and make it something beautiful? So we joke about busted, but not all of them are busted. And they're very much lived in and loved. And we want to respect that. We love the people that we buy our houses from, and we want to help. Like, that's genuinely what we want to do when we buy a property. We want to help that person selling it. It's funny because when he's around people that have like a Southern accent, he all of a sudden develops this like Southern accent. He's like, hey y'all. And I'm like, you're from Florida.
I don't even sound like that.
You want to go down and get some fried chicken?
Oh my gosh. Why do you gotta go fried chicken? Why can't it be baked chicken?
Because in the South you eat chicken. You eat fried chicken.
You eat chicken everywhere. Not just fried chicken. You can eat baked chicken, grilled chicken, shake and baked chicken. I like shake and baked chicken. You go,
okay.
Shake and bake.
Anyways.
Southern. Born and raised. America.
If you guys like our videos or you hate them, I don't care. Can you subscribe to our channel? The more subscribers and followers we have, the more footage that we can get and the more content we can get to you guys because we care. We love you guys.
America.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna start talking Southern all day.
You're so stupid.
Turn this into the Southern Roots
you do that.
Flip show.
The kids say that too. They're like, Dad,
you
why
gotta
do you...
get the neck movement when you talk from the South.
Oh my God, please cut.
You brought it up.
Because you started doing it.